I think he could make it.
I'm not so sure, Skip. I thought you had this video. I didn't call for it. I thought you were going to call for it. I'm not so sure, Skip. He doesn't go for a ways. It's going to be a lot shorter than a 40-something yard field goal, Skip, because he's running. I mean, the middle just opens up.
For Jacoby Myers.
Yes, for Jacoby Myers.
This is on 3rd and 3.
Yes. It just parts like the Red Sea.
Okay.
So it looks like he's going to go for at least 15, 20 yards.
Okay. Now, let's go back to the GOAT, and let's see what he did in the previous series when he just said, I've had enough of this game, and I'm going for the throat. I'm going for Coach Belichick's throat. And he goes to AB twice. If we could see the two throws, this is 2:13 left. 2nd and 8 at the 30 and 3rd and 8 at the 30. And the first throw, he lost it in the lights. Like this is just, I thought it was a really good throw. If AB could track it and just turn the other way.
I think it hung up and got caught up in the wind too, Skip, and it pushed it. Because you see AB is looking.
Okay, that's the second throw. Okay, so he goes rainbow on the first one, and then he goes rocket on the second one. Well, this is highly catchable by that guy. That guy? This is a really sweet throw. That's a touchdown throw.
That's a hard catch, Skip, because when you catch it that low, you lose sight of with your eyes. If you notice when guys catch it over the shoulder, they try to catch it like this. Once you let that ball go, your eyes are not tracking way down there. So that's why he lost it.
Okay.
But very catchable. No question. AB?
For that guy?
Yes.
A multi-Pro Bowler, a guy who at certain points in his career is considered the best receiver in football.
No question.
I just think you got to hang on to that ball, and you couldn't throw it any better. So I was impressed that Brady finally just said, hell with all this. I'm going to him. He's single covered because you almost have to single cover him out of the slot.
And why was he single covered, Skip? I mean, why was he going after him? That was the guy that was injured. Remember, he went out of play, and they brought Bethel in. He went to Bethel.
It's Jonathan Jones.
Yeah.
And he went right at him on 3rd and 6. I tweeted immediately, AB, go for AB. And on 3rd and 6, he converts to AB. And then he says, okay, something's wrong with him.
Yes.
I got my little man on him. I love my little man. My little man wants to wreak as much revenge in Foxborough almost as much as I do because he had his issues with the owner, obviously. So I'm going to my little man because that's the way we have to cap this off. I don't have my security blanket, who is Gronk. And usually in those situations, it's just Gronk all day and all night. And Gronk wasn't there, obviously, so he couldn't force Belichick to double him every time, which would have loosened up a lot of other things. So he has to go home run to AB. And I thought both throws were good enough to be touchdowns, and both of them were not touchdowns. Okay, so that just opens the door for what happened after that. And here comes Mac Jones, and first they got an enormous 20-yard penalty on Jordan Whitehead in the last drive, if we could see that. And I have no idea, but it felt like even the referees were saying, no, Tom, we're not going to let you do this tonight because there's a throw over the middle by Mac Jones. I don't know what Jordan Whitehead did wrong here. Help me out.
I think they should. I think the foul was on Devin White. But they called Jordan Whitehead because if you look at it, Devin White grabs him.
Well, does he?
Yeah, he grabbed him. If you go back to the look at see, he's got it. That's what they call it right there, Skip. That's not. The ball is behind him.
The ball's behind everybody.
Yeah.
The ball is basically uncatchable to me because he can't even find, like Hunter Henry can't even find the football, right? So that set them up in shop, where they suddenly had a chance now to do some damage. So in the big picture of the night, as off as Tom Brady was, if you look at what happened, the Bucs went 9 of 19 on 3rd down, and the home team was only 2 of 9. Well, the offense was clicking pretty well. Like Brady made a lot of big throws, and they ran it pretty well.
And they did a great job of keeping them out of the end zone for the most part. And like you said, 9 of 19 versus 2 of 9. And you can't go 2 of 9. The Patriots really needed to play a perfect game, Skip. Not turn it over. Mac threw a horrible interception. They fumbled the ball on the 28-yard line. They missed the opportunity with Slater running out of bounds. But you need to be somewhere around 50% on 3rd down to give you an opportunity. So if you convert those, if you look at Kansas City yesterday, Skip, they 90% on 3rd down. When you let a team get 90%, you're losing. You let a team get 50, you start letting teams get 50% on 3rd down, Skip, you're probably going to lose those games. But give the Bucs credit. Even though they're down so many guys in the defensive backfield, Skip, that injury like a groin injury. That looks something serious to Carlton Davis. I don't believe he's coming back anytime soon.
He's pounding the turf.
Yes.
Usually when they pound the turf, it means I know I'm done for a while.
Right, and they brought the card out to get him out. So it looked like he might be down for a while. And you mentioned Jamel Dean. You mentioned Murphy Bunting.
Yeah.
They're hurting right now in the defensive back.
They're really hurting. And if Winfield had a concussion, he could be gone for...
He's in protocol.
Yep.
But number 9, the guy that's filling in for JPP, he had a nice night, Skip.
Yeah, he's a rookie. The
first round.
Yeah, Tryon.
Yeah.
He's got a second name that I can't pronounce.
Yeah,
Joe Tryon, from University of Washington.
Right. So he played well.
He was the last pick in the first round. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the Bucs also surprised me because they got their running game back going. So they had 119 rushing. And the one thing they do better than anybody in football is you cannot run on them. Dallas didn't even try to run on them, and they wound up with -1 yard. So it's 119 to -1. Well, that'll help keep you in the game.
Then at some point I tweeted, the Patriots said, "The hell with the run. They're not. It's a waste of down. It's a waste of time. Just put him in the gun." And Skip, you know what? For the most part, if you look at Mac Jones, he plays better. At Alabama, they kept him in the gun 95% of the time.
They did.
So you might have to start running your run plays out of the gun because for whatever reason, he seems more comfortable playing out of the gun. Once they went to the gun and they let him run speed, just hurry up, Skip, he was sensational. He was sensational.
Sensational. So also turnovers. The one thing Tom did very well was, even though he was wild high in the first half, he wouldn't try anything crazy in the red zone. He didn't try to force one into coverage in the end zone. Every time it was even close, he just said, I'm throwing it in the 5th row.
He knows this is the kind of game, Skip.
You can't make a mistake.
Nope.
So they made no mistakes. And also, he only went down one time, which is pretty good because they were, in the first half especially, they beat Mac. You want to talk about sore? He's going to be sore this morning because he took a bunch of hits.
Skip, I don't care what anybody say. I believe Shaq Barrett punched that ball out. I believe that was a fumble. They gave the ball back to the Patriots, but I don't really know what else you want the guy to do. The guy, yes, he bobbled it, but once he gained control, he took another step.
Jacoby Myers.
Yeah. And Shaq Barrett punched the ball out.
Yep. So this is how bad it got for Tom Brady last night. I look up, and he is throwing a red zone pass to a guy named Cody McElroy. You ever heard of Cody McElroy? Okay, I only heard of him because he played on the basketball team at Oklahoma State. So I knew he was from small-town Oklahoma. I didn't know how small. How about Chattanooga, Oklahoma? You ever heard of Chattanooga, Oklahoma?
I heard Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Okay, thank you. Well, so have I. And he went to southeastern Oklahoma State. He was briefly on the practice squad with my Cowboys. He's bounced around the league. He's 6 feet 6 inches tall, and they were so desperate for a red zone target without Gronk that Tom Brady actually threw a pass to Cody McElroy in this game. It is just preposterous to me. I couldn't even compute it last night that it came down to Cody McElroy and Pierre Desir on defense. They're annihilated injury-wise. They are decimated. So all things considered, given the hype, given the build-up, given the fact that he did break the all-time record fairly quickly.
I hate when guys break records on the road because we don't pay it its proper respects. I wish somehow it could always line up, Skip, where you get that Drew Brees type moment where you're at home, a Monday night game, they break the game. Because something like this, it should be stopped. I'm not saying it's the all-time home run record or something like that because football records are not the same in baseball records. We know baseball records are more are thought more highly of than football records. I don't care what LeBron is. Once he breaks Kareem's record, Skip, they stopping that game.
Lord have mercy. They might just suspend the game and say, well, we'll have to finish later.
I know you remember this, Skip. You remember when Tim Brown caught his 100th pass? And they stopped the game for like 30 minutes. They brought his mom, they brought his cousins, they brought everybody from his hometown out on the field. I was like, well, damn.
Well, do you remember what they did for Breeze in New Orleans?
Yes! I think it was against Washington football team. If I'm not mistaken.
It went on for a half hour.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I'm not saying it should go on that long, but Skip.
Okay, it's not like Brady is vying back and forth with Drew Brees because obviously he's retired.
It's over.
Okay, so this record is going to stand for a while.
Right.
Do I give Mahomes a chance? I'm sure I do.
But even if you give him a chance, Skip, you still talking about 15 years. It's not going to be like Breeze. Breeze had the record for a year.
That's what I'm saying, and that's all you get.
That's all you get.
They got the football and threw it out, and then they went right on with the next play. Okay, so we did that. So the point was there was so much hyping and overhyping for Brady that in the end, when I look at his numbers, 22 of 43, you said low percentage for 269, but he had no touchdowns, but no interceptions, no strip sack fumbles. So he actually played a clean football game under the highest emotional pressure he's felt maybe his whole career.
Well, Skip, there are not very many quarterbacks that can win a football game when they don't throw any touchdowns. It's hard to do. I mean, you think about it, because
unless the final score is 19-17.
But even then, Skip, when you're talking about that, because that guy has the balls on so many plays, and if he throws the ball as many times as he threw it last night, given those conditions, but to not have a TD and still win, it just goes to show you, Tom understands the moment of the game. He's like, you know, a turnover here or there could actually swing the game in their favor. If I'm going to miss, I'm going to miss high. If I'm going to miss, I'm going to miss out of bounds. I'm not going to give them any chance. The ball get popped up in there and fluky things happen. He does as good a job of understanding the game early on as anybody in the history of the game that's ever played that position. He understands it like, nah, this is not the day. I need to take a risk.
Okay, and I'm going to sum up Tom Brady's night and his emotions with a play that happened early in the fourth quarter. It was 3rd and 6 at the Tampa 42. And do you remember what Brady did? He took off running, if we could see it, because you want to talk about an effort to get a first down. This is 44 years old, through 2 defenders, head over heel, all the way back.
Just tackle him. Why would you hit him? Why would you push him forward? Just tackle him.
Through 2 defenders.
Grab him.
And falls backward and throws the ball back over his head for the first down.
Did I get it? Did I get it?